Hi, Lily Queen here. Today I'm going to show you how to sew in a hidden pocket, more like this. We call it hidden or inside pockets. The right side looks something like this. This is a mini skirt that I'm using for sample. I just made this one, and you can see that the space for the hand to go in is there, and when you turn the wrong side, this is the hidden pocket over there. The technique is to sew it in such a way that you're not attaching it exactly on the seam line. You need to move it a little bit away from the original seam line. In this particular case, the seam allowance is 5/8 of an inch. 5/8 of an inch, if you don't know, is actually the width of this particular tape measure. Okay, this tape measure, the whole width is 5/8 of an inch. But if you take 1 inch also, you can literally find your 5/8 of an inch. Anyway, so I'm going to use this as the inside pocket that I'll be using to demonstrate. And first and foremost, you need to have your pocket pieces, your pins, your marker for notching. You know, I use the marker to notch. A notch is, you know, a part that helps you to position the piece that you're going to be attaching. And sometimes you can actually use a pair of scissors to notch or cut a tiny V like that. You can use a marker, a tailor's chalk, or a scissors to do that. Either way, you just want to make sure that you are notifying yourself when you get to that point. Okay, so as you can see, I have marked my 5/8 of an inch seam allowance over here, and with my pockets I have marked about a quarter inch or 3/8 of an inch away from the, you know, that's the seam allowance I'm giving to the pocket piece. All right, so this is the wrong side of the pocket. This is the wrong side of the garment. Once you determine the length that you want to give to the pocket, you notch it. From there, you attach your pocket pieces onto the side that you're going to be attaching in such a way that the right side of the pocket sits on the right side of the garment, making sure you are occupying that space that you gave yourself. Hope you can see it. Okay, so when we're attaching it, we're attaching it right side to right side. That way your wrong sides are all up. So with that, let me attach the other one. This is right side of the I marked the wrong side, so definitely the other side should be the right side. So this is also the right side of the garment, so I'm attaching right side to right side at the notched points. Okay, so you mark the notched points, and remember I drew a line for my seam allowance, which is smaller than the garment seam allowance. The garment seam allowance is like 5/8, not like 5/8, but it's 5/8, and the pocket seam allowance is about a quarter inch. So now I go to my machine and I stitch on the smaller seam allowance, which is about a quarter inch. Okay. So I insert that piece, one piece first, and then I insert this other piece. I don't want it to shift, so I have to be careful. Okay. Now I grab my pocket pieces and I pull them up like this together. Remember, the original seam allowance is 5/8 and it's showing right there. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be sewing now from the top on the original seam allowance, but when I get to the pocket, I pivot and turn and then sew around the pocket, pivot and turn, and then continue to the end. So that's what I'm going to do now. Now, pivoting, you keep the needle down. Okay, you keep the needle down and you raise the presser foot. That way the needle doesn't move, so you are able to turn your garment any which way. And this time we're turning so we can start off sewing the pocket itself. Now, the pocket itself, I'm going to give it a seam allowance of the same 3/8 that I had before. So I'm just going to go back to reinforce this particular stitch. And then I continue sewing all around the pocket to close it completely. So the whole pocket now with a small seam allowance. Okay. And then I come all the way I'm going to continue all the way to my 5/8 seam allowance line. I go back a little bit to reinforce that corner, and I come back, I come forward again. Now I'm going to pivot again. Now I lift and turn because I'm going vertically down now. So and I'm done. 1 second. Okay, so here we go. The pocket is completely inserted. Cutting off mine. Now I'm going to turn so we can see how it looks like on the outside. So here we go. Now, because we sewed the pocket pieces on a smaller seam allowance, it makes it completely hidden. Okay, you don't find the edge, the colored fabric kind of showing out on the outside. No, it's completely hidden, and that is the trick or the idea behind sewing it on 1/4 inch or 3/8 of an inch. Anything less than the original 5/8 will keep the pocket piece further in, and that's what you want. You want it properly hidden. Okay, so that's our pockets. Thank you. Thanks for watching.